Hello, and welcome to And Now You Know. I'm Teresa, and tonight I'll be answering the question, why do dumb characters become dumber? If you're like me, you grew up watching The Simpsons. In the beginning, Homer and Ralph were lovable dummies. They weren't smart by any means, but they were still functional. Then, as the series went on, they became dumber and dumber and dumber, to the point that they were borderline mentally handicapped and no longer entertaining. They aren't the only ones guilty of this. Over the years, many shows have done this to lovable characters. I never understood why writers felt it necessary to go this route, but is there a method behind this madness? The actual term for dumbing down a character is called Flanderization. Funny enough, this term originated from Ned Flanders.
Oakley dokley.
He used to be a well-rounded character with a wide variety of storylines and emotions. Then the writers started focusing on his religious beliefs and decided to run with it. Fans of the show coined the term and it stuck. Now critics and fans use the term when a character becomes a single, hyper-exaggerated trait.
I was more animal than man.
There are several reasons why writers do this to a character. If audiences respond overwhelmingly to a dumb character, writers will lean into it. They'll write more jokes around it to the point, if over time it's still positive, the character's stupidity becomes the main catalyst for humor in the show. It's also easier for the writers to write, and it's quicker. If they already have a character with one defining trait, they don't need to spend as much time developing jokes or situations. It's an incredibly simple formula. Smart character says don't do that, dumb character does it. Hilarity ensues. There's a countless list of characters that this has occurred with. Andy Dwyer from Parks and Recreation, Peter Griffin from Family Guy, Joey Tribbiani from Friends, Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Kevin Malone from The Office, and so on. But did you notice something? 3 of those characters alone are from NBC shows, and there are even more. It's not necessarily a deliberate formula per se, but it definitely is a pattern. The reason NBC stands out more is because over the years, they have had more long-running and popular ensemble sitcoms than other networks. It also stands out more because these are standout characters and some of the most memorable episodes involve them. Writers don't necessarily go into a show with the intent of flanderizing characters, but if fans are eating it up, especially if ratings are going up when a character gets more goofy or dim-witted, then they know exactly which path to go down. Even if there are fans who love it, there are people who absolutely detest it. Take Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons, for example. This one is a personal hatred and is one major reason among many why he gave up on the show. Ralph started off as what's referred to as a blank slate character. He was a little odd, but didn't really stand out in the first few seasons. Then they started building him. By season 4, he was the lovable little goofball we all fell in love with. Specifically in season 4, episode 15, I Love Lisa, the infamous I Choo Choo Choose You episode.
Poor Ralph. Here you go, Ralph. You choo-choo choose me? Happy Valentine's.
Even though it showcased his weirdness, it gave him depth and something to relate to. You see a little boy who has real emotions and is much more than just an odd kid. He stayed that way for a while, but slowly and surely, he lost that humanity and instead turned into a one-dimensional, one-liner machine. And that's why fans get so upset. A once lovable character turns into a non-functioning menace to their own well-being. Many fans see through this so-called character development and will bail on a series regardless of how invested they are. Fans criticize it as lazy writing almost every time because to most, that's exactly how it comes across. Even if the character change is due to a new writing staff, they'll be highly critical, saying they don't understand the character and are actively ruining the show. But there have been times that Flanderization actually worked and enhanced a character. Charlie Kelly is a really interesting example of Flanderization actually making a character better instead of worse. At the beginning of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Charlie is weird, kind of illiterate, but still somewhat grounded. He can function, he understands what's going on most of the time, and he's just kind of the oddball of the group. As the show goes on, all of those traits get pushed much further. He becomes almost completely illiterate, his logic makes little sense, his living conditions are absolutely vile, and he starts acting far more unhinged. On paper, that sounds like the exact kind of thing that ruins a character, but Charlie doesn't just become dumber, his intelligence shifts into something completely different.
Now let's talk about the trash. What do I do with the trash? How do I dispose of the trash?
I don't know. We disposed of the trash in the dumpster last night. What are you doing with it?
I am taking it to the furnace.
We have a furnace?
Absolutely. Where do you think the heat comes from?
You burn the trash in the furnace?
This bar runs on trash, dude. This bar is totally green that way.
How is burning trash green?
Because I'm recycling the trash into heat for the bar and lots of smoke for the bar. I'm giving the bar the good smoky smell that we all like.
The bar smells like trash. That's the exact opposite of green, Charlie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I could put the trash into a landfill where it's going to stay for millions of years. Or I could burn it up, get a nice smoky smell in here, and let that smoke go into the sky where it turns into stars.
That doesn't sound right, but I don't know enough about stars to dispute it.
No, it's right.
He's terrible at normal everyday things, but he's weirdly good in most absurd situations, can be unexpectedly deep and insightful, and can even be downright manipulative. Even when he does something impressive, it's still driven by his very basic, very Charlie motivations that only make sense to him. So instead of becoming a flat joke, he becomes unpredictable, and that balance is what keeps him from feeling like a caricature or one-dimensional. Another character that fits this is Andy Dwyer from Parks and Recreation. At the beginning of the show, Andy isn't really the dumb one yet. He's just lazy, kind of selfish, and he's immature, doesn't have a job, and he's not a great boyfriend. More or less, a standard slacker character. As the show goes on, though, Andy shifts hard into being the dumb character. He says ridiculous things, doesn't understand basic concepts, and starts acting much more immature.
I'm not going to torture this kid.
Nobody said torture.
Why don't you let me take a run at him, boss? In order to think like one of these guys, you have to think like them. Greg Pakaitis, would you like some boiling hot coffee? Face? My name is Burt Macklin. I'm with the FBI.
Looks like Andy's wearing him down. I'm gonna go finish him off.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Why don't you just shut up for a second?
What's going on in here?
He's a jerk. He is being such a jerk. It's an awful thing to say to a human being.
Are you crying?
No, I'm not crying, okay? I'm allergic to jerks.
Okay, Andy out.
Fine, I don't care. Stupid.
However, instead of only making him dumber, the show builds him up at the same time. What really keeps Andy from feeling like a caricature is that he grows. He gets jobs, becomes more responsible, and his relationship with April is actually stable and supportive. Even when he's being completely ridiculous, you can see that he cares about the people around him and he wants to do the right thing. And that balance is what makes him work. He's not just the dumb guy. He's a dumb guy who somehow manages to build a life and occasionally succeed, which makes him far more interesting than if he had just stayed a lazy slacker or turned into a complete moron. And now you know. If you have any questions you'd like answered, feel free to send me a message on Twitter at ANYKShow or email me at andnowyouknowshow@gmail.com. Until next time.